Go. Okay, so you all know the deal. Daz, can you let these folks in the next couple minutes? Thank you. So you all know the deal. Most of you have been on my calls, our calls before. If you get bored, you can put a B in the chat box. If you understand, like, oh yeah, I get it. If we ever ask, put a 1 in the chat box. We're likely tonight going to be talking about some wild things you may not know about. If you don't understand, put a 0. You're like, man, I really don't get it. If you get mad, this makes me mad, put an 8 in the chat box. And if you have your head blown, like, oh my goodness, that's the most incredible news I've ever heard. We love those exclamation boxes, or exclamation points. So if you understand, put a 1 in the chat box. If we're already confusing you, that's all right. Put a 0 in the chat box. Let's just make sure we're talking to living, breathing people here. Put a 1 in the chat box if you're with us, just so we know everybody is here. There we go. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, a few people are stuck. I get it. All right, so for those of you who have been hanging out with us for the last few weeks, praying and hoping that this will all work out, we salute you. Thank you, everybody. Great, great work. We salute you for your patience, and we are blessed by your patience and your tenacity and your faith. And I think by the end of this call, you will have had your patience rewarded. It's not what we had originally talked about, but I think now that we know the full scope of how things are, now that we've gotten all the information, at least that we can get to date, we can finally disclose to you, here's what it really is. We've heard a lot of, what's that great quote from Tron, you know, when you've been in the system as long as I have, you hear many reassurances, many brave plans. Well, we heard quite a bit of that. Well, now Daz and I, through some tireless, painful, emotionally stressful work to try to figure out what's really going on with this whole thing, we've gotten to the bottom of it. We're very excited about it, very excited to share it with you. So here we go. Let's see. So some of you have seen this guy, the guy here in the very orange shirt, and some of you even know what era this might be based on this poor little kid's pants. This would be me at about 6, maybe 7 or so. And this poor little guy, as cute as he is, was told by his parents, and very, very graciously on their part, little boy, you should follow your dream. You should follow your dream. You shouldn't get a job. You've got some great talent at music. You should go do that as hard and as fast and as powerfully as you can and build that talent. And, you know, for them, it was, you know, be of service to the Lord and all that, which is fine. And this little dude right here, he went and got all his degrees in music. He started writing music for film and television at 17 and was really talented, got a lot of work, but did not get paid very well. And in fact, most of this little boy's early life in his 20s and his 30s and even early 40s, he struggled to make $60,000 a year, to make $70,000 a year, to make rent every month. There were times where this poor little boy living in Los Angeles had no money for gas to get to a gig that would pay. Because he was following his dream. He was doing what he knew to do. Now, no one ever told this little lad, by the way, this is my little brother, by the way, John Paul. No one ever told him, hey, following your dream is great, and definitely a job isn't the right way to do it. You're giving away your time to somebody to pay them, to get them money, and you lose. But no one ever told him, you know, there's a better way of following your dream, a much better way. And some of you have not achieved any dream. Now, I don't mean like, you know, oh, well, you know, I was able to eat 6 scoops of ice cream in one go or something like this. I mean a real dream. And I'm also not talking about, oh, I wanted to go to Mars. Well, that would be really cool. But I mean something where you were like, you know what? I want to own a 180-unit apartment complex. I want to own a house in Fiji. I want to be fully healthy in mind, body, and spirit. I want to fly in a G6 and have the ability to fly my friends around. Whatever that dream is. I know for this little guy, though, because he was so committed to following his art, not from a financial perspective, but from his art and what he was trying to do in music, he did hit just about every dream he could, but he was broke the whole time he was doing it. One of his dreams was he wanted to conduct a major world-class orchestra, and he got to conduct the London Phil when he was 26 years old. It was amazing, but he didn't get paid very much to do it. And the very following year, he was back on, where's rent coming from? No ownership, no real estate, just rent, please, let's get that paid. And what do we call that? We call that poverty mindset. It's good to go for your dreams, but sometimes there's a couple steps beforehand. And if you're one of those people, there's no shame, believe me. If you're one of those people who have yet to achieve one of your major dreams, I'd like you to put a 7 in the chat box. If you're like, you know what, I've been working a 9 to 5 to try to make good for my family, and maybe that is your dream, and you hit that, you've nailed that, you've been steady, you've been at it, you know, thank you for your vulnerability, both of you, all 3 of you, 4 of you. I mean, I just want to show you guys, this isn't just you. There's a lot of people who have not hit their dreams. Barry, you have made more contribution to society than 95% of the people in the world, but yet Barry hasn't achieved one of his major dreams yet. If you guys know Barry, you know what I'm talking about. Doesn't this hurt you all to see all these people here on this call not fulfilled, not having found their dream? Yeah, Connie, come on, that's what I'm talking about. So how do we do it? We've all got families, most of us, we've all got lives, how do we crack the code? 1%ers cracked the code, didn't they? On our necks. The banks crack the code on our backs. How do we get around it? Well, the piece of information that no one told little Mark here, because nobody in his circle at the time knew, was that there's a step you have to take before you achieve your dream. And believing in yourself and all that good thing, you know, having your plan and all that, that's very important. But there's a secret term that has to be achieved before you do any of that. And when I look back on the time that I spent working in Hollywood between now, I'm 50, and here about 90% of my age less, 95%, there's one common denominator between all the people who were successful that I know in Hollywood. Now, some of them were A-listers and they just struck it big, but I mean the people who worked at it and who had success. And do you know what the universal commonality is that everybody had? And all of my friends who did very well, who own multi-million-dollar houses and who are doing very well in their career, it wasn't talent. No, not talent. Not talent. It wasn't their agent. It's not that either. What do you think it was? The universal constant that allowed and generated Lance Bradford, teacher's pet, already. Shoot. That's right. Real estate. They all owned real estate, not businesses. Some of them own businesses, but they ended up having to spend so much of their time managing the business and their investments there. I'm not saying you shouldn't own a business. Some of my greatest money makings have been investing in businesses. But real estate, when managed correctly, when done right, when bought right, primarily, can create not just generational wealth, obviously, but there's a step before that, isn't there? There is, hey, I'm getting my bills paid. And for those of you who play Cash Flow from Robert Kiyosaki, and every one of you should play that game, everyone, we should play that game at every DCG event and every event. And just have a big conglomeration of it. Everybody knows that if you play that game, the way to get out of the rat race is to invest in small deals first and then get real estate to pay off and pay you rent. Everybody knows that's how you do it. Maybe the car wash, but we're going to be talking about that here in a minute as well. Commercial real estate, where it's really at. All right, anybody mad? If you're mad, put that 8 in the chat box. You know, if you've had your head blown off already, like, oh my gosh, what? See some exclamation points. If you're confused, let's see those zeros. If you're like, I get it, I'm with you. Let's see those ones. And of course, as always, if you're just bored, let's see those Bs. Okay, I got some people that are with me. All right. So why Daz and I have been slaving, I'm going to use that word, slaving away to try to drill down to the bottom of this opportunity is because when it was first presented to us by Connie, God bless you, Connie, we saw very quickly that this was the opportunity of our generation. This time, right now, more than crypto, more than a lot of things. Not that crypto isn't an opportunity, not that it isn't. Of course it is. But this is something upon which we have a great deal more control. And how this generally works is a three-pronged method. You can choose any one of the prongs or all of them if you're set up correctly. But if right now you can't act on any of the two, one or more of them will get you to all three of them. Well, you know what, Connie? We're going to take care of that for you. Some of you have no idea the drama that have been going on, and you don't need to. All you need to know is that, first of all, let me just say props to Daz, who is like the most organized, tech-centric, easygoing, who has pulled me off the ceiling when I wanted to go do something terrible to somebody, saying, listen, it's all going to be great. And she is such a rock. You guys, if you know her, give her some props. She is the best. What do we got here? We basically have a three-pronged attack. Oh, let's see here. I'll put you in. That three-pronged attack is funding, real estate, team building. Those are our three things. I kind of broken it down to some graphics, and again, I apologize. We're going to have all these graphics redone for you, but this is Mark, the musician, trying to do graphics. So if you're like, huh, I get it. I'm sorry. Hopefully I can explain it all to you. So on one arm, we are bringing in real estate leads. We are bringing in people who want to buy property. And like, well, wait a minute, I want to buy property. Yes, 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 yes. Of course, that's one of those prongs. But for those of us who don't have good credit, who don't have the capital, we can capitalize on people who do, or people who do have good credit. And we want to bring them into the organization and sell to them the real estate that we have as product available to us. Absolutely. If you want, you can do cold calls if you want. I mean, that's what the leads are for. We buy leads. We show you how to market to them. We've got a crazy good system for doing thousands and thousands of text leads and only having to call the hot ones. People that are like, hey, do you have any apartment complexes in Toledo, Ohio? And you go dial it up, and you're like, oh, yeah, I got 6 of them. Oh, would you like to give us a proof of funds, a letter of intent, and a non-disclosure, non-circumvent? Here's the document. Great, now we can show it to you. And you can close them. Pretty good. We contact those brokers and agents, and we build relationships with them. Why? I thought we wanted to buy property ourselves. Well, that's the second link. I'm talking about the first one. The first one is we bring people in and help them get real estate, for which we profit. Well, Mark, don't I have to be a real estate agent and a broker to do that? Nope. This is what's called wholesaling. It's a glorified wholesaling because we're going to be doing it as a team. If you've done wholesaling before, put a 3 in the chat box. If you've done that, you know how crazy that is, how difficult it is, especially by yourself. You've got to deal with sometimes hard money lending. You've got all this stuff. Yeah, it can be difficult. It's very exciting. But that's what we're going to be doing, wholesaling. We're going to get properties that we have access to that are not on the market. Let me say this again. Properties that we have access to that are not on the market. What kind of properties? That's what Lance is here for. Lance is like, you tell me the property and I will get excited. SFR, duplex, triplex, quadruplex. We're talking about gas stations, storage facilities, apartment complexes, mobile home parks. We're talking about factories. We're talking about mobile logistics centers. Not so much, strip malls. Not so much that. Okay, a lot of you done wholesaling. That's what we're doing here, in a glorified form, in a way that benefits everyone. I don't, and Daz does not want to do a deal where everyone doesn't benefit. Everybody's got to benefit. And more than that, Daz and I wanted to set up, it's not a multi-level marketing thing, but we wanted to set up a pay situation where people who bring in other people benefit off of their sales because they trusted us and they trust themselves. Because ultimately, every one of you is going to be building your own team with us, a team of your friends, of your contacts, business relationships, all of whom are going to be generating generational wealth, right? What's the most important thing about listening to the voice of God? If you believe in God like I do, it's not that he brings you wealth. Who cares? Irrelevant. It's not even that he wants to build generational wealth for you. He can't really care less about that. But what he does care about, she, he, however you want to go with that, what he does care about is that you can listen, and when the wealth comes to you, you know how to distribute it. You know where it should go. And not just that you give it all away. Some people do, if that's your thing. Okay, you can do that. But we want to be able to help everybody who's willing to do the work. And you guys are with us here in the beginning, which shows me that you're willing to do the work. Then we have funding. So we're going to do leads. We're going to bring people in to buy real estate that we will provide for them in ways that no one else can. Brokers and agents do not have access to this. They do not have access to these properties. I'm sorry. Which is why we get the lion's share of that money. They can just sit down, shut up, and hold on. Then some people are going to come to us and not be able to get funding. We can create funding opportunities for people with 685 credit and higher that we are going to talk about, that will put your gray matter on the wall. And then once we close the deal, everybody who was involved with the deal and everybody who brought you in, well, almost everybody, will take a little piece. Some bigger pieces, some little pieces. If you've done multi-level marketing, you kind of get the gist of how that works in a downline affiliate fashion. 1% of the funding goes to the people who were directly involved. 1% of the sale of the property goes to the people that were directly involved. And then it goes down from there in the downline. We're going to talk about this. Talk about funding. Here's how it works. Now, we've been sold many different things about how this is supposed to work, but now we know. We have the contracts. We've talked to the people. Here's how it goes. Listen, you can't do anything yourself. If you want funding, you can't show up with a 560 credit. I'm sorry. No. Now, if you do have a 560 credit, guess what? No problem. I mean, not really. We've got at least 2 solutions for you to fix up your social slave credit, to start managing your credit in a way that you can start working it so that it starts going up about 100 points every 7 to 8 months. If you do the program, it's free, by the way, the program that I offer on that one. You hang out with us, I'll give it to you. But if you've got blemishes on your credit, no, you got to have those fixed. And we've got a couple of great solutions for you. Very, well, honestly, very inexpensive given the value. Some of you are already in those programs because you're chomping at the bit to jump into this. So you got to fix up your social slave situation. You got to see that 685 or better. But a 685 does not guarantee you anything. We've seen people with 820 rejected. I'm serious. We're going to talk about why in a second. Then we apply to lenders. The lenders are going to either approve you or reject you from any amount from, we've seen as low as $5,000 up to 110 now that were available in various forms, credit cards, revolving, these kinds of things. All right. And not everybody, very few people get over 100. Some people get, we know one gentleman who got basically 12,500, which is credit that might not have been available to them otherwise. And then what we can provide that nobody else can is the lender said, here's what you need to do to make this better. And we have solutions for those things as well, with basically trade lines that we can purchase and also processes that we can go through to help you within 2 or 3 months be able to apply again to the same lenders. What? And then get better credit. You're like, that doesn't work. Well, it does now because we have a relationship with them. And all they want to do is give you credit with one caveat, which we'll talk about in a second. So let's say I'm going to talk perfect world now. Some of you are like, man, I didn't get that. I know. We're still working on this for you to be able to get the higher and higher credit levels of funding. But let's say we know somebody that got this amount and more. let's say you got $90,000. Now there are fees attached to this. Well, let's say you got $100,000. There's a fee attached to this. Almost every part of this credit is 0% for 2 years or more. Some people got 1 year, but it's all 0%. Let me say this again, 0%, which you all know is basically free money, honestly. There is a 10% fee. You're like, 10%? Hey, listen, were you going to get this on your own? If you could, you should, because that'll save you 10%. But at 0%, because this isn't just, I got credit and I get it, yay. We're not multi-level marketing. It's not a pyramid scheme. We're doing this to get you somewhere to, and it doesn't have to be real estate. Daz is probably going to talk about how you can do this in crypto, right? How you can use this for crypto. What? I know. Listen, we got Mercury retrograde coming up. I'm going to leave it right there. So we help you improve, and then you can reapply. Every time reapplying, you get more and more, ideally, until you get to what you're looking for. Do you have a question, Terry? No? Okay. Then once you have enough of this credit on this, we call this level 1 credit. Then we want to be able to build a corporate situation, because corporate credit can create a much higher level of credit capability that we can then deploy into the real estate market. Now, full disclosure, we are still working on this little piece. We are very close to locking in exactly how we want to do this. We've gone from 1 opportunity, which isn't so good, to 3 that we have. And we should have this locked down in about a week. But so I'm going to kind of gloss over this. But the point is, we want to get this 100,000, 90,000 result to be able to then buy us a 2-year-old seasoned company that has a built-in lending capability that gets us up to $400,000 or more. Where do we get this $35,000 from? I wonder. Right here at 0%. So we don't want any out of pocket. We want to do other institutions' money. Again, in a perfect world, this leaves us with $450,000. Oops, that didn't work. Here we go. Go back down here. Then we get the company under us, and we figure out what exactly it is that we want to buy. What do we want to do with the money? You don't have to do real estate. You know, some of you, like, check it out. If you knew that Mercury retrograde meant it was time to short Ethereum, and you knew that you could do some DeFi stuff where you could literally pay off the loan that you borrowed and make 100% on the $12,500 that you got in credit at 0% for 2 years. Does that sound like a good idea to you? Yeah. If you knew what you were doing, you just made another 12.5. Pay off the loan, you got 12.5 for free. Use it again, whatever. That's possible, not financial advice. These are the things that you need to discover. Not only these things, but there are a bunch of ways you can deploy your finances that you're getting from banks, those evil people, that you can use to build your capital. We're going to focus on real estate. We're going to focus on how to then use this capital as well for the business that you might build with us, one of those 2 prongs. I know Daz is going to be talking about the crypto side and a few other things. I'll probably be talking about options at some point, but that will not be our focus. So those of you who are in DCG or beast mode, enough said there. So understand your leverage. Just because you have $400,000 doesn't mean that that's all you can buy, right? You guys understand that you've got, in a corporate commercial situation, a bank doesn't really care that the money that you're using for collateral is borrowed. Now, there ain't no way you, the social slave, are going to be able to say, listen, I've got $400,000 in my Wells Fargo bank account under my social that I borrowed. Can I use this as collateral? No. But because companies borrow all the time, that's how they do what they do. Banks are like, yeah, good, because we know that the money they're going to use is going to be for benefit of the company, for profit, not win Lambo. Right? So with that in mind, they're much happier to use your borrowed capital as collateral. You can get generally up to 70% loan to value. That means if something costs $1 million, they'll loan up to 700,000 of the value of the property to you, which means you got to put down 300. Well, you've got 455. How much does that allow for? About $1.5 million, give or take. That means that you went from I don't have any credit. Within a few months to $1.5 million capability. How much did it cost you? Well, the 10%, about 40 grand. Let me say this again. With no money out of your pocket, for 40 grand, which by the way didn't come out of your pocket, and yes, you're paying on, but about 0%, okay? You now have leverage of $1.5 million. You didn't have this before. Does this sound good? It may be scary to some of you, and I understand that. Like, listen, I don't have any debt. You mean I got to go 40 grand into debt? Yes, unless you could do this on your own. And if you could do this on your own, then the funding side of this isn't for you. You can do it on your own. We'll talk about the other two sides in a second. Yeah, interest 0% on that, the 35,000 borrowing, 0%. There are fees, right? It's 10% fee to get that. There are also some fees for cashing out if what you ended up with was credit cards, full disclosure. But we've been able to get those fees down really, really far. What some people are paying 15% to cash out of their credit cards for, we can get down to 2.5%, which again, 2.5%, that's like free money if you know what you're doing. If the end result is real estate that's going to pay you far, far more than your debt service. Great question, Zoe. Here's some examples of some of the stuff that we have, and Daz is going to crack into our some of the stuff that we're some of the product that came out, I think yesterday, so you can see it the real estate wise. I think all of it is retail, at least what's on that page. Anyway, so I'll have her show you kind of this stuff. Our real estate comes out every morning, and we redact the stuff that we don't want people to know, and then we post it to our affiliates. Or we will be, and all the affiliates will get that. And then as their clients or their leads come in and say, I'm looking for a mobile home park, where? Oh, outside of Tallahassee. Great, we've got 6 of those here. Send them the general information and they go. But here's an idea. If you're unfamiliar with commercial property, here's some, 4 single family residences, other quadruplexes, duplex, here's some triplexes. For that same price, you could generally get a pretty good return on investment. This isn't, counting your debt service, but that's not bad. Is it crypto? No, but crypto ain't giving you equity either. And this is every month. Are you able to do this every month and sit back and work on your dream doing crypto trading every day? Lance might, but Lance wants to get into real estate, y'all. So for me, I like mobile home parks. That's my experience. It may not be yours, but this to me is the greatest ROI of any real estate under $10 million. And if you could create 33% on your 1.5 million, you'd be doing about $500,000 a year. Again, not taking into account debt service, but that's not bad. Here's the problems you all are going to run into with your funding. And some of you have 800 plus credit, and you will be denied because some of this, or even one of these things, is on your credit. Okay. I'm not going to read these off because you guys get this, I'm sure. If you have any questions, just go, which one of these, what is this? And that's fine. The FFF means the financial freedom formula, shows you how to handle that. Dr. Mike is one of the DCG members that we work with who does an excellent job of pulling actual blemishes of everything except a bankruptcy and a federal tax lien. I shouldn't say federal, IRS tax lien. That's going to be really hard to do, but we have a solution for you there too. So these things are going to get you denied, any one of them. Even though you have 820, 8+100 credit, whatever, you will be denied. Why? Well, you have to understand what's happening. Right now, banks are getting their interest rates raised. Do banks want this? Nope. They really don't, because they know that when interest rates rise, people don't take loans. And how many of you know that loans are the really primary way that banks make money? They don't leave their bank branches open so that you can get more checks and use the ATM. They use it so that you can feel good about giving them your hard-earned interest money by borrowing from them. People are borrowing less, so they need to offer more credit more easily. But they're not going to offer it to social slaves, because they're going to take the 500 grand and go buy Win Lambo, right? But they're going to give it to businesses whose primary aim is making more money, thus allowing the chances of the loan being paid back to be greater. So as a result, they are opening up their arms to businesses businesses, companies with EINs, so that they can then put the money back into the economy and they make their interest and make their money and all of those kinds of things. So when they look at you, your FICO score, even though it's your social slave score, they're looking at you with corporate glasses. So what gives you in social slave land an 820, in corporate land gives you a 650. If you don't have any big accounts that have ever been paid off. If all of your credit cards are $5,000 and you've got an 820 credit, you're going to have a hard time. Now we have ways around that for you. And the lender that we work with will say, here's what you got to do, which you're going to get from Amex. They're going to be like, go away. This is the beauty of what we're doing here. One of the many beauties. Now, I'm not going to go into this. You got tired of seeing me do corporate structure stuff, but it is important. And obviously I'm involved, so you'll have me at your disposal to help you create your corporate structure. And it is one of the requirements that we strongly, strongly recommend you go into your funding process with at least a multi-member LLC. They will ask you for an EIN. Now, it's okay if you have a DBA or one of these things. Don't tell them about a trust. But there is a specific way of speaking that we've discovered that these lenders, they tried it out on us, actually, and that these lenders want to hear. And if you use the wrong words or don't use the magic words, or when they say EIN, you go, what's that? Your otherwise $80,000 possibility will be $10,000. I'm not kidding you. There is an interview. You will interview with the lender, and we will show you how to maximize that. In fact, one of the ladies on this call was so genius. They asked her. They said she had an excellent credit, and they asked her, "Well, how much credit would you like?" Right? Such a clever, "Are you a sheep?" question. Right? How much limit would you like on yourself? How much the pens? How far apart should they be? And she was smart enough to go, "I don't want no pens, y'all. I'm going to roam free." They're like, "All right, we'll give you as much as we can." And she got a nice number. Okay, breaking this down. This is the funding piece and a little bit of the real estate piece, which we're going to talk about in just a second. Here's you, the social slave, desperate, paying max tax, losing all of your profits trading because of the capital gains taxes, all that stuff. Ideally, you get somewhere $50,000 to $100,000 in level one. Then you get your corporation from your seasoned LLC, and then you get a few $100,000 combination after fees, somewhere around 410 if all goes well. You get your 70% loan to value from a big bank that allows you to say get 1.3 million. You buy your real estate. You set up a local real estate LLC with your debt service. If it's an 11 cap, you're going to be making $53,400 a year. What did you do to do this? Did you spend any of your own money to do this? The answer is no. Let me say this again. You are now making $53,400 and you have not put $1 of your own money into this. When I say we want to use other institutions' money, that is what this entire prong of this three-pronged attack is all about. Then obviously we put this into our own LLCs and we take care of it. We'll talk about that, et cetera. There's this little arrow here that we'll be talking about. That's the third prong, which is getting cash from other people that are doing the funding and doing the real estate buying. But this is what's possible. This is what's possible. How much did it cost you? Remember how I said, yeah, OPM, I like OIM, Andrew. Other institutions' money. I don't really want to use other people's money. I like people. I want to get them more money. But I want to use the other institutions' money. How much did this cost you? $1. Remember, you lied. You said it wasn't going to cost anything. I know. It costs $1 to get your credit soft checked. It's a soft pull at a website, which, yeah, we'll tell you at the end here. And you basically get that soft pull. You send it to us on our secure email. Then we send that to the lender. They are waiting for your soft pull credit report right now. So if you're interested in doing this, put a 9 in the chat box, and maybe Daz will make sure that we get everybody's name down. Let's talk about the real estate portion. Anybody excited? That was one portion right there. That was the funding portion. Anybody excited? Put some exclamation points in there. If you're like, this is so boring, put some B's in. I love it. See, I'm excited because now I know, I know, Dazzle, and I know how this really works. It's not a bunch of who we can actually sit down and talk intelligently about it. So that's why we've been freaking out. Can't wait to get this to you guys. Okay, real estate portion. We have dozens of off market every day. We just had a whole bunch more come in today. We haven't had time to put it in the system because we're trying to get this launch ready for you all. Check this out. So that thing we talked about up here, this thing here, $410,000, 1.36 million, you got 11 cap, you're doing 50. Some of you are like, well, that's not that great. Listen, how much money did you put into this? What's your ROI? Oh man. Oh dear. Some of you don't know what that means. That's okay. One of the great things about working with us that most companies aren't going to give you if you do it on your own is we're going to do weekly real estate education, not just from me, the ball guy, but we're going to bring in professionals. Some of you are professionals that we're going to have come in and talk about cap rate, NOI, why locations are important, how to deal with infrastructure, commercial real estate, loans, secrets of investing to get what we're going to talk about here in a second, your occupancy rate up. Anyway, we're going to go through all of it so that when you're ready to buy your own real estate, you're like a shark in the guppy pool. That's what we want, because 95% of the real estate that's out there is not worth buying. Now, I didn't say it wasn't worth selling, because that's what those of us who are doing tier 3 are going to be doing, selling it to everybody else. Not because they're suckers, but because you don't know what everybody's going to want, right? Some of you are like, well, that's mean. Everybody's got to win, right? Remember I said that? When you buy a call and you win and then sell it back for a profit, didn't someone have to lose? No. How do you know? Somebody could be doing a hedge, right? Somebody could have sold you that call to get out of their other position, and they made profit, you made profit, and then you're selling it back to somebody that's doing a hedge. You don't know. We don't know that somebody might want to pay more than ARV, after repair value, for a particular house because they know they're going to cash flow the heck out of it. So don't get caught up in that. If somebody wants to buy it, we want to sell it to them. So 1.3611 cap means it's 11% per year without considering your debt service. Now, this debt service, I put this in here. That's what it cost you to get here, right? The 400,000, I'm making it up that you could get a 6% loan for 15 years. This we knew is 0%, 0% for 2 years. Your debt service, here is about 100 grand a year. This is going to off-put about 160 or so. So you're going to end up, after you paid your debt every year, with $53,000 on $1. Not bad. But you bought it smartly at 65% occupancy. And we're going to tell you why that matters in commercial real estate. You're doing 13% return on investment on your $410,000 that you got from your first round and second round of funding. Now, really, that's not your money anyway. So this is unlimited ROI. But let's just say this was really money that you put down as a down payment. Okay. Everybody with me, kind of with me so far? If you're not, it's okay. I just want to kind of capture the hearts and minds of those who do real estate and get what we're talking about here. If you're with me, put a 1 in the chat box. What I'm going to do to you right now is kind of blow your minds up a little bit here. No one's with me. Okay, I got one person. Dazzle, thank you. Lance, are you with me here, buddy? Charmon. Edgar, I know you get it. Connie, what is that? Okay, Vance, thank you. So I'm going to show you all how to take, depending on the kind of real estate. Now, this isn't a part of our business. This is because if you join our team, we're going to be training you how to do this, because I don't want you buying 95% occupancy commercial property unless you know what you're doing. It's kind of suicide. We want to build up to a 95 or 100% occupancy, having only paid 1.36 million. Now the value of this goes up as we continue to put more people into this property that pay us. The debt service stays the same, but now I'm doing almost $9,000 a year. The value of the property is almost 2 million. So I could flip it at 95% occupancy, probably for even more to some sucker who wants to buy it at that occupancy. Nevertheless, I've gone from 13% to 19% ROI and gained $600,000 in value. That's what we're talking about. That's when we buy our real estate. That's what I want every one of us to be doing. I'm not talking about selling the real estate to other people. We're going to talk about that next. But when you're ready to buy, we've got the funding for you. We've got the knowledge to show you. Here's how, this is kind of what we need to be buying. And then we move from there. What about taxes? Yep, taxes got to go in there, but that's the cap rate is considered before taxes, including the taxes. So, you know, if you had a 13 cap, that means that's including your taxes. The only thing that this doesn't include is your debt service. We're going to show you why that matters. Excellent question. Zoe, you are on it, buddy. Love it. Let's talk about passive income, the third level. This is the one that we have been slaving over the most. If any of you are like, ever try to put math together, you're like, sometimes this gets really painful, but to try to make sure that everybody gets a little piece as far down as we could possibly get it, we had to really do some deals with our real estate folk. They didn't really want to do it. But when we showed them that the people that are coming in to do this business with us are traders that don't flinch, that understand that doing, making sure everybody benefits is everything. They got it. Excuse me. So if you bring somebody in, so if Lance brings Barry in, Barry's already an affiliate, but let's say Lance brought Barry in and Barry becomes an affiliate, then 1% of what Barry spent to be an affiliate goes to Lance. If Barry gets $100,000 in funding, Lance gets 1,000 of it. Remember I said there's a 10% fee to doing that? Some of that goes to our downline. Some of it goes to the lenders. Then if Barry closes $1 million deal in real estate, Lance gets 10,000. Did Lance do anything to do any of this? Yeah, he brought him in. Would Lance probably be helping him close all of this? Absolutely. Of course he would. And that's important, building a team. Then Barry brings Zoheb in down here. Zoheb clears $1 million property. Lance gets 2,500 bucks. Dope. Pretty good. So down it goes. We can go down 5 levels deep and not go broke. We figured this out. Here's kind of what it looks like. Sorry, guys, please forgive the graphics. All right. I'm no artist, and there's a couple little errors in here already, but I'll just go through this quickly to give you some idea. Let's say that we had our normal affiliate fee, which is normally $3,500. Let's say we had it on sale for $2,000. Let's say everybody here got $500,000 in funding, which would be awesome. And let's say everybody that was closing real estate closed $1 million, which, given some of the real estate that we have to close, is cheap. All right, so let me move this so I can see what's happening here a little bit better. Over here, no, I can't see. So here's Lance, an affiliate. He paid his affiliate fee. He's with us. He's getting all the training. He's getting the education. He has access to getting other people funding. He brings in a consumer. They don't want to be an affiliate. That's perfectly fine. They come in. They want to do. Boy, these windows are really in the worst. Hold on, y'all. Sorry. These things. Zoom still thinks it's a $600 a share company. Okay. So what doesn't want to be an affiliate comes in, does $1 million. He closes, Lance closes this dude on $1 million property. He buys it. Lance gets 10 grand, 1%. He also got $500,000 of funding for this dude. He gets 5,000. Does he get an affiliate fee? No, because he's not an affiliate. Easy. Then Lance brings in all 5 of his buddies. They all want to be affiliates. They all love what they see. They pay their money. Lance gets a little portion of that. Love it. Then these guys, his buddies, all bring in consumers, one each. They each do $1 million. Lance gets $2,500. Pretty dope. Did Lance do anything to get this? No. What's Lance's sale right now? He sold 1 property, but brought his buddies in. Pretty cool. Now here's something to think about. If I wanted to make a downline, like if I wanted to add somebody down here, continue it lower, how would I do that? Well, the rules are, we figured this out. If you have 5 affiliates, each one of them does at least 1 close. You can take a 6th affiliate and put it underneath them. Now, some of you are like, well, why would I do that? I make less money. Well, we'll talk about the strategic value of that, not on this call, but soon. You'll see why maybe that's important. You can keep them all on the front level if you want. You don't have to give them to anybody, but in the world of team building, sometimes it's very advantageous to reward the people that are under you that are doing very well with some of your own people. It's not that you won't keep working with them, of course, But sometimes if you've ever done multi-level marketing, you know the importance of supporting your own team. And this is Lance's team. Now, do Daz and I support Lance's team? Absolutely. Every time we possibly can. Because look at the deal he's doing. He's doing all kinds of volume for us, all kinds of real estate and funding. So from here, though, notice that the Lance does not get the affiliate fee, only on his top level. He also doesn't get the funding, even though this dude got, a bunch of money. It's on his second level. So all Lance gets here is what he closes. Then this guy goes, you know what? I'm going to bring in 5 of my buddies and we're going to do deals. Lance gets $10,000 from 5 deals there. And so it goes. Third level, fourth level. Every time there's 5, someone can put someone beneath you. They can make 5 and make 5 and make 5 all the way down to the 5th level. All of this going back up to Lance. Did Lance do anything to make this happen? What's his real estate sale? 1 sale. But Lance got some good friends that like to do real estate. Oh, I'm jumping ahead. Sorry. Oh boy. But let's say Lance does get busy and all of a sudden he wants to do his own sales. He gets $10,000 for $1 million on 1% of each 1% of each one of these ones he sells. Now he's done 5 sales. He's made $82,500 from his direct sales and his downline sales. Each one of these guys needed $500,000 of funding. He's now made 1% on that. He's doing pretty well for himself. Pretty well. And so it goes, right? Each one of the guys that Lance brought in goes like, listen, I'm going to do what Lance is doing. And then they continue the volume. Lance is now well over 150 grand. And then his downline, he trains to do the same thing. And now he's well up over $250,000. And all he's really done is sold $5 million properties. So, and then of course, it just keeps going and going and going. So we love this for a couple of reasons. One, everybody wins. Everybody wins. Secondly, team building is the only way we're going to create generational wealth. We ain't going to do it on our own. There's just no way. We have to link. And we hated the idea. There was a time at which we couldn't figure out how to make this financially viable. That we were all going to go broke doing this, but we figured out a way to do it. There's some rules, as you can see. It's not just willy-nilly, but it becomes profitable for everybody, and we all help each other because it's in everyone's best interest to do so. To help team upon team upon team, and it's going to be a lot of fun doing it. All right. With that said, I think I lost my chat window if you guys are trying to say something. That's right. Everybody's got to eat. You got it. You got it. Everybody's got to eat. If you want to do lending and get funding, you got to have 690 or better. You need to have an LLC or better. Like I said, don't walk into that meeting and not know what an EIN is or have one. We have a program, if you're an affiliate, that you get me to help you set that up, an LLC with all my bylaws, with all the minutes, and I'll help you put that together for $500, which is normally a lot more than that. That includes the state fees, y'all. It also includes the book from Amazon and all that other stuff. We'll talk about that later. You got to know what to do with your money. Don't get into this and go, yay, money, win Lambo. No, please talk to us about what you plan on buying so that we can help you direct you in the right way. It's going to cost you a lot of money, though. It's going to cost you $1. If you want to do the real estate, you got to know your product, your price, and where you're going to do it. Know that before you start doing anything. You got to have a proof of funds. Now, if you don't have a proof of funds for doing real estate with us, well, that's sometimes what the funding part is for. But if you do, great. We will set you up once you find a property that you like in our product. We will set you up with a contract that'll do non-disclosure, non-circumvent, letter of intent, and then you'll show us a proof of funds, and off we go. There it is. If you have an agent, that agent will need to do 1% or less, or we won't do the deal. Sorry. Some of you are like, oh, get 3%. Not with us, you don't. But we can't eat if you're going to take everything, right? You agents, we love you, but we're going to give you so much volume. You're going to be like, I'll take 1%. I can't take anymore. My bank's blown up. You want to be an affiliate with us. We'd love to have you on board if you've got the right skills. We want to see you do 100,000 a month. That's our intent. Are we doing that right now? No, but that's our intent for every affiliate that joins us. Okay, that means if you're doing 1%, you're closing about 10 million in real estate. You got to be coachable. You can't know it all. Now, do we know it all? Psh, no, but we're coachable. We want to hear from you. Please, we know the system. You got to understand that you can't win all the time. Enough said right there, yeah. You got to know that it's about, you can either build community, you have a community rather to bring to us. You're crack at cold calling, or you're crack at building and constructing communities and teams, or you're good at all three, or you're not good at any of those and you're coachable. You're going to need to come up with $3,500. That's our fee. That's the usual fee, unless you're on this call. How about that? You knew this was coming. So our discount for everybody else is that's here with us and your friends is $19.95. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. That's right. That's right. I think this is pretty doggone reasonable given what we're going to be giving to you. Daz is going to get on here in a second and show you kind of the back office, how to get there, how to register. Neither one of us are going to get mad if you want to jump in. Now, if you've already paid, you worked with Ron, if you are good. You are good. And we will be connecting with you offline as to how to get in our system so you don't have to pay anything else. But if you have not paid, if you're on Connie's team and you haven't paid, you're welcome to join us. This is your special fee. Please don't run around telling people that we're giving it to you for $19.95. Please don't do that. If you can't have the cash at the moment, we're not banks, but we can do $675 for 3 payments, which again, pretty awesome, y'all. We can start tomorrow. Can I set up my website already? Yeah, man, exactly. We'll be talking. When will you be contacting me to jump in? This is what I'm talking about. We got people that are ready to rock and roll. Ron will be giving us leads starting tomorrow. We will have full real estate pumping into our emails starting tomorrow morning. We just got to get the back office for that, for all of you to get that real estate securely redacted so that you can give it to your clients. It probably tomorrow. And then for those of you who are like, I got to do this, I got to be involved. This is exactly what I've always wanted to be a part of, building teams, building generational wealth, learning how to do all this process, because we're going to teach you everything we know. And so is everybody else. But I don't have 675 right now. Well, we'll take what you can. If you can give us something, and what we can do, we're not going to do this very often. What we can do is take it out of your royalties. We want good people. We don't want people that are that have a lot of money but aren't good. We'll take the people that don't have a lot of money but are willing to jump in. And what it means is you'll have 3 months to pay the $19.95. If you can't do it in $19.95, you'll lose what your organization is, and you'll lose your what the money that you've given us. Right? It's our risk, and you got to show up. Does that seem fair? Yeah. What is that? Ken, let's talk after. Let's talk after, because I can't look at all that text and everything at the same time as what I'm doing here. But excellent. Okay. Any questions? Because I'm going to hand this over to Daz. You guys are like, can we get rid of the bald guy, please? Let's get the good-looking girls on. Any questions about this? All right. I'm going to hand it over. I'll just answer questions in the chat as we go. Daz, you want to show them some amazing things?
Yes. Can you make my other Daz co-host or screen share?
Other Daz.
The one with no mic.
In doing all this, we've had multiple personality disorders show up. So that's why Daz has so many things here. I think that's the right one. Yes?
Yes. All right. So let me get my screen going.
Kevin, no, we're not going to go over that. But there is massive education for affiliates, which I think I mentioned a couple of times. Education around team building, real estate, how to sell, the scripts, all that stuff. Lending, borrowing.
All right. So the way everything is going to be set up is really automated, and I'm super excited about the way this is going to flow. As well as also being able to have, alternative investing options with, you know, the funding that she received. So that's a couple of things we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about this, the way the system is a little bit, as well as just some different things that we'll have in place as far as options available. So from the site, we'll actually have a site bot that will be able to filter out questions and figure out the interests of the prospects that you actually send to the page. So that's going to be really good as far as if you're not good at explaining things yet. And it'll be able to, again, filter your client to where they're going to need to go. So if they're interested in funding, if they're interested in real estate, it'll kind of be able to handle that light conversation for you. So I'm pretty excited about that, as well as being able to have the back office for your training. Now, something really neat that I've been working on the programming side is the call center. So when I'm talking about being able to submit your leads and knowing where they are in the process, you'll be able to follow up on them in real time, you know, see where they are through the call center. And I'm really excited about this. So you'll be able to check all the divisions at any time from your login. So this is pretty neat. I already have an account. I've been testing it. So I'm just going to give you guys just like a simple peek in here really quick.
I hate spinning balls.
Got mine. That's when I'm the most excited, right?
I'm pretty patient, but I got zero patience for gear that don't work. Hate that. If you've got zero gear patience, put a 5 in the chat box.
Come on. Okay, well, I don't want to take any more time on that. So the process is really simple. You'll be able to submit your lead's name, you know, what they're interested in, whether it's real estate. You'll be able to submit, you know, the PDFs that you need to submit through here, all through one seamless, like I said, department, and be able to actually see where everything is. And so I'm really excited about this center, because that's just going to make everything streamlined and be able to flow. So first I've been in here, but again, you'll be able to put your client's name, create the ticket. This is what I'm just doing now. Okay, that's what I'm doing now. And then once you click there, you're going to click add message, and then boom, you'll be able to upload what you need to upload and give us the rest of the information that we'll need to process your client. So I'm pretty excited about that, to be able to streamline the way that it goes, as well as Mark was mentioning, the full moon. So let's say, you know, you're not at 100K and you still want to be able to figure out some options that may not be real estate to do with your funding. You know, we're going to talk about some platforms where you can get up to like 45% on your money, right? And then that you can actually loan against. And then when you have dips that you can predict in the market, which I always can do that during retrograde and during the new moon, that you can actually discharge the debt, and it's like free money. So it's like you never spent anything, right? So that's super dope. So it's almost like double dipping. It is, and it's pretty dope. So I'm pretty excited about that. That will be part of the training. Some of the things that we'll, you know, talk about as far as the options. Like we said, everything will be available in your members area. So we'll be onboarding the affiliates that are already here for the login. You know, just simply being able to see just some of the things that you'll have available to you.
Just hold on, Des. Hold on there. Just can you scroll down to see the rest of that? This is a small portion of what showed up yesterday in 2 states. Yesterday, every one of these is off market. No real estate agent has access to this except for the seller's agent. They have not put them on the MLS. They're not available. These are all inner circle things. So if you look at that very first one there, the Fort Worth, the duplex on the line 2, that they're asking 280. The after repair value is 325. The repairs, I mean, obviously you got to do your own due diligence, is 30,000. It's, as I recall, can you scroll to the right? There's some notes there on the right. I forget which one was on the, like to the right of the actual spreadsheet, past where it says units. Go up at the top. Yeah. And then scroll back up to the top. Very top. Oh yeah. So it needs a new roof, which is like a roof. Yeah, but you know, roofs between 30 and 40 grand. You got a duplex there. The income is $2,400 a month. How many of you know that you're going to cash flow that thing all day long? That's an easy one. That, and maybe that's not for you. Maybe you're like, listen, I got guys that want to buy Texas duplexes all day long. Dude, you could sell that to them right now and get 1%. Done. Okay, thanks, Des.
So not only that, but like I said, there's some other options. You know, we actually do have as far as training on other investment options like Toro. We actually have people who will set up a passive income store, so you don't even have to do anything. They set the store up for you. They supply the goods that are in the store. They take care of everything. All you do is collect the check after that. So we'll talk about various passive income options that are within inside the community. And yeah, if you can't tell, I'm very, very excited about this because, like, you know, Mark and I have just really been putting in a lot of nights and a lot of work. And it's like, it's here, it's now, and just everything that we know is going to come from this, I'm super excited for.
So if they want to register, can you show them how, if they want to be an affiliate, what they need to do?
Yes. Let me.
And if you want to do funding with us, just reach out and I'll get you the website for sending in your soft pull. And we will give you a specific, because you're going to be sending in your social and all that stuff, we need to be very secure about that to get it to the lender so you can get approved. But the approval process, 72 hours.
We're frozen a little bit. If you have the link I sent you, if you could drop it in the chat.
The link you sent me, I probably do. Membership. Okay. Does anybody have any questions while we're pulling these things up? Is anybody mad? Let's see those 8s in the chat box like this. This makes me so mad. If you're excited, we'll see some exclamation points. We'd love to see that. If you're confused, let's see a 0 and like put that question in there, or you can hop off mute and we can ask those questions, get those questions answered. There we go. Okay, here is the link for the flat 1995 special deal. There it is. Jacob, are the real estate deals cash only? Most of the time, but if you have funding at the ready, I shouldn't say most of the time, that's not true. Because if you've got funding ready, they'll take a bank loan. They just need, some of them are good with the, what's it called? When they go and they look at the property and to see that it's the value, what's that called? You know what I mean? Most of them are good with that. But thank you, appraisal. But a lot of them are cash. A lot of them are cash because they're income properties, and that's not unusual. The ones that are okay with loans are the big, expensiver commercial properties, the millions, the 10 millions, the 100 millions. They're usually okay with some form of, not cash. And then the cheap SFRs, the cheap single family residences, they're usually okay with that. And then the 3 payment, if you want to give us 3 payments, let's see if I've got this. Nope, that's not it. Oh, it was it. Nope, that ain't it. The 3 payment link. This one. There it is. That's the 3 payments of $675. That is right here. Yeah, Connie. Do we have information on tenancy? Yes, but you got to show up with proof of funds before we start doing financials. There will be no financials outside of ARV and price for obvious reasons. Because what makes this valuable is the fact that people don't know about it. And if all of a sudden this goes out and everybody has it, by the time you get ready, and you know, speed is of the essence, time is of the essence when all of these things, we're going to get this so fast, so efficient, so effective and efficient that some of you all are going to stop trading at 8:30 in the morning Central Time and start looking at the real estate deal and calling all of your brokers going, I got this, I got this, I got this. It's going to be like the New York Stock Exchange floor for half of you going, I got this. What do you got? I got this. What do you got? Let's do it every day, every morning. Will Canadians be eligible for funding? That's an excellent question. I'd have to ask about that because it's based on your FICO. It's based on your social slave number here in America. So let me ask our lender about that and see. That's a great question. I didn't know. Okay, so you're not going to make any of us mad. If you want to go register right now, you can go hop off if you have any questions. Yes, Sam, absolutely. We'll be here for a minute longer or so. Daz, did you give me that? Well, we'll talk if you need the, hey, we can't do 675, but we'll take your other deal where you'll take whatever we can and take it out of our affiliate fees. Just reach out to us. We can do that. We would much rather you got on the plan like everybody else because we don't have to, you know, take it out of your residuals. We'd much rather you got paid. All right, so those are the two links there. If I can pull that up directly. I'm going to share my screen just to see. Let's do the screen here. Right. So this is what it looks like. This is the website. You just go here, continue, and use your credit card, et cetera, et cetera. And that's what you would do for that. And then the 1995 link as well, which is this thing right here. Double check that it works here in the chat. Sometimes the chat gets weird. Yep, works great. Boom, there it is. Boom, there it is. If you were with Ron, do you need to re-register? No, you do not. Naomi will be in touch with you because you're already one of our affiliates to move over. You'll go through a slightly different process, but it will be the same. And then for the people that, great question. And then for the people who are going to be bringing in people under you who are already affiliates, you're going to have a very special link that you'll be giving them. You won't be giving them this link. So once you register, you need to register first. Otherwise, they don't show up under you. They show up all over the place. So if you're already an affiliate, don't send your people that you want under you these links. Once you register, then you're going to send them, you'll have a very personal, specific link that will go to them, and then they will be put under you. So that's all right, Connie. We'll figure it out. Don't worry. We should have said that. You guys are so fast to register. Yep. That's good. That's good. And if you want to build, so like I know, like for Connie, she has an organization somewhere else. And if you want to retain that organization, then you kind of have to go through the process of, oh, Connie goes and then Joe goes, but Susie's under Joe. So Connie gets a link. Then Joe, once he registers, he gets a link, and so forth and so on and so like that. So that's how that works. All right, y'all. That's about it. We're terribly excited about this. And we want to have the people that are really willing to get busy and start designing and believing in what the next 5 years are going to be like, instead of being, you know, at the whim of your current circumstances, to be able to start taking control and taking the opportunities that are available in the real estate market, in the brand new frontier of funding. And then, of course, in working with us in building teams. And building an organization that pays you. Yeah, Savannah, do I need to re-register? No, well, you didn't actually register as an affiliate, I don't think. So if you registered as an affiliate, we should talk. I'll give you a special link, but I don't think you did. So you're good. Good questions. Anything else, Daz, that we should cover?
Yeah, just if you're already registered, just keep an eye out for your messages to get you onboarded.
Yep. Check your emails. You'll be getting in. If I brought you in, you'll be getting an email from me. If Daz brought you in, you'll be getting one from her. I know it's going up. That's so good. Yeah. Savannah's working with Dr. Mike and like shooting a fish in a barrel. So good. Just so you know, if you're trying to get in touch with me tomorrow, I may be slow to respond. I'm going under the knife on my back tomorrow morning, so I will be a little groggy. I will be out of it for the morning, but then in the later afternoon, I'm sure I'll be back to answering emails and things like that. So, all right, y'all. How will you touch email, Discord? Probably Discord. I hate email. Email's so circa 1995. But yeah, I will get you that and we'll go to town. Thank you, Naomi. Also, if you are an affiliate and you have done some of the calls and you have clients, you've got leads that you've already made, do collate them. Do put them into some kind of organization spreadsheet, what they're looking for, because we want you to contact them and we're going to show you how to do that. So like Naomi, if you've got somebody that's interested in quadruplexes in Florida, whatever, we're going to go do some searches and show you what we have. And then you can just fire it off. And then, like I said, in the morning time, it's going to be like the New York Stock Exchange. So in fact, that's what we made it to do is just set up literally a live group every morning and just go, okay, who's got what? Oh, I got this. I found this. So it should be fun. Should be fun. All right, y'all. Thank you for your time. We're going to give you back your Thursday night, and we love you madly. We'll talk soon.
Listen.